Hello, Cancer. This is your reading for October 12th through 18th. We're going to open up the energy of the reading today with the lion spirit. Beautiful energy. Be generous of spirit. Yeah. Be generous of spirit. I think it's a good time for sharing of ourselves and sharing our energy and sharing our life with the people that matter to us, you know. Let's focus on that. Be generous of spirit. How can we lend a hand? How can we build the world? How can we assist other people? How can we be there, right? What is our presence? What is our stature in life right now? Well, we have a Two of Cups, love. Yeah, it's a good time for that. It doesn't have to be romantic love, okay? You can put your pitchforks away. It's platonic love. It's spiritual love. It is even self-love. How do we show up for ourselves, right? How do we have a generous spirit with ourselves? You have King of Swords, Emperor, Nine of Cups, yeah. Star even, wow. And a Four of Wands. You got all the good cards. Holy moly. I think there's a reason this video found you today, Cancer. I really do. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have a lot of fours. Four of Swords even. Maybe it is a time for rest. It is a time for presence, you know. We have an Ace of Swords, and we have a Moon card there at the end. It might be just really a time to be present, you know, to be generous of spirit, to show up for ourselves, show up for others in our life right now. Let's dive into these cards. Mystery card first. I can't have all those fours, wow. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to set it down right here with Aliens. Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. Will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below the video, okay? Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3 majors. We've got, let's see, fire. We've got water and water. We've got a couple of air cards. We got some earth energy. Yeah, it's pretty balanced as far as the elements and things go. The Two of Cups here, a beautiful card of love. Yeah, a good time. If you're looking for love, this is a great time for that. A great time that says be generous with your spirit and be generous with your presence, okay? How are we showing up for others? How are we showing up for everybody, right? This is, again, self-love, divine love, platonic love, and romantic love. How are we showing up in our lives for all of that? This is a card of a meaningful connection. Okay, it's going to be strengthened this week, whether it's romance, friendship, partnership, the divine relationship. It's that meaningful connection that's going to be strengthened. And we even have the winged lion at the top here, which showing, to me, it shows that through a proper connection, romantically, platonically, spiritually, or with yourself, right? A proper connection, a strong connection, it's supportive, it's reciprocating. It leads to courage and strength, and it leads to wisdom. It leads to creative energy, right? This is a partnership that encourages you. This is a partnership that, you know, kind of invokes that lion spirit, gives you confidence. Your relationship with yourself, with your spirit, with friends, family, with lovers, they should be encouraging relationships. Your relationships should lift you up. Okay? There should be balance and equality. There should be harmony. This is the giving and receiving in equal measure. It's a time for unity and cooperation. It's a time for deeper trust. This is love and respect. Heals any kind of misunderstandings. There's closeness. You're choosing connection over separation. And I think the right kind of relationships are going to lead to creativity, courage, growth, inspiration, wisdom, magic. This is the creative magic, you know, that is born between these two people, right? The caduceus and the winged lion. It's a relationship that makes you feel like there is nothing you cannot achieve. Yeah, this is gonna be a good week. This is gonna be an outstanding week, Cancer. Because I think you're ready for that. I think we need to focus on those kinds of relationships, and we need to be present. We need to be generous of spirit, which means basically you have to give more time and effort to these kinds of relationships. Recognize these kinds of people in your life and be generous with those people. Do more of that. More of this card, Cancer. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. Now, we have the King of Swords, too. This is a more rational card. There's leadership, there's fairness. So to me, it feels like that, especially with that Two of Cups, it's about being generous with our spirit, but with the right people, in the right way, okay? Don't let anybody take you for granted. Don't let anybody steal away your time, effort, energy, money, or space. Give it to the right people. Okay, so there's that fairness energy. This is kind of an authority. It's saying, use your logic to make balanced decisions. Be clear, be firm, be structured in your choices. Okay, I feel like other people look to you for clarity, right, and direction. And I feel that you got a good head on your shoulders. And I think Cancer people are kind of known for sometimes being either one or the other, either being way too emotional and irrational, or the other way, being so intelligent and so rational and so logical that there's no feeling anywhere, I feel like you've got the right balance. I feel like you have relationships in your life that you're giving your presence to, that are encouraging you and inspiring you and motivating you and challenging you in the right way, so that you can, continue to make very good decisions in your life. Honesty, right? Truth and honesty and trust is going to cut through any confusion right now in any of your relationships. Okay. And I think this is beautiful energy. You've got the best cards here. You got an Emperor as well. And the Emperor is a card of control. It's a card of authority. And, I feel like you are the authority of your life. I feel like, it's, I feel like a Two of Cups relationship is really behind any great emperor. You know what I mean? I feel like it really gives us that confidence and that courage when we have meaningful relationships in life. I feel like it does give us that sort of, gives us that feeling like we can conquer the world. We can do anything. It inspires us, and makes us want to be better and do better. And so I think that this is really a week of having clear intentions. It's a week of kind of being in our strength. And, it's a week of presence, okay? Maybe a good week to create structure and order in your life and sort of use your discipline and focus on a clear direction. Some of you might really be stepping into like an actual leadership position somewhere, okay? But this is you leading with confidence, leading yourself maybe, and leading other people too. Discipline and routine and all that stuff is going to help you build stability. And again, it's kind of like when your relationships are healthy and strong, you get motivated to do all sorts of stuff. You're out in the backyard, you're building the chicken coop or whatever. It's that inspiration. It's given you strength. It's given you motivation and enthusiasm in life. Okay? This is a card, too, that says protect what you've built. But don't become rigid. Don't become like a dictator but protect those relationships. They're important to you, and you want to maintain those, right? Your decisions in your life right now, I think, are firm, confident, but fair. You're acting very responsibly. You're showing authority with wisdom, not with force. Okay, you're leading by example. I think this is a really terrific energy, whether this is at home, at work, or at school. I feel like there's something really good going on. I feel like people notice that. I feel like you're the kind of leader that people want, because I feel like you have an ability to motivate other people, again, through your presence, through your generosity of spirit, right? Through the way that you're able to support people in the right way that they need, the way they need to be supported. And your ability to communicate effectively right now and communicate from a place of love and compassion. I think it's outstanding. You got such good energy. I feel like right now you could really do anything. And it's going to be very, very pleasant, very prosperous, and I think it really is going to be very successful, especially with this Nine of Cups. To me, this feels like contentment. It feels like emotional satisfaction. I feel like that's going to kind of highlight the week. I feel like your wishes are coming true. I feel like there's comfort, there's joy, there's happiness entering your life. And it has a lot to do with those meaningful relationships that you have. Be sure to focus on gratitude, the deeper joy, appreciate the people in your life. Appreciate and offer your generous spirit to those strong, healthy relationships that you have. You've got all the good cards here. Allow yourself to enjoy those simple luxuries and the pleasures of life. Happiness grows when it's shared with others. That Two of Cups is the key. Yeah. And so I feel like, you might be achieving a lot. It might feel like this week, like everything seems like it's going great. Like there's just a lot of stuff to be happy about. You have all these trophies on your mantle there. Feels like there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to celebrate in your life right now. I think there's one relationship in particular that kind of is getting like a refresh with the Star card. It's getting like a little bit of a renewal. Okay? And it might be that there's just like a healing, soothing, cleansing kind of energy in some aspect of your life. And it's probably some type of relationship, whether it's with a friend, family member, coworker, it's with yourself, even. But the Star card, this is a lot of hope. And there is this healing energy that might be kind of like soothing those old wounds, or like clearing away any kind of bad blood between you and a important person in your life. That Two of Cups showing a strengthened relationship. I feel like the Star is helping to heal that relationship. One of those relationships probably, or maybe this is just like a blessing on all of your relationships right now. Okay? There's peace, there's inspiration. I feel like this is a card that's like you believe in your future. And the Emperor is just like, I'm confident in what I'm doing because I know that I'm fulfilling my destiny here. You're following your North Star. You believe that your future holds promise and beauty and love and joy. And so you're filled with gratitude for the small things. You feel gratitude for those small moments with the people that you care about and that care about you. I feel like this is a week where the people that love you, you're going to know. And the people that you love, they're going to know. Okay? So it's that kind of sharing energy. It's just like, I feel like everybody's just like in a real I love you kind of zone this week. So the small blessings, and realizing that what you devote your generous spirit to is going to grow greater. What you nurture, what you nourish, what you pour yourself into is going to flourish, okay? You're trusting in the flow of life and your place within that life. And I feel like this is just, you feel like you belong, you feel like this life everything's in alignment right now. This is really weird. The Four of Wands, I feel like this is kind of maybe a pause for you to recognize some stability and recognize that you belong in your life. That you feel like you are a very important part of the world around you, and your friends' life, your family, and your coworkers, and your romantic life. Like everything just feels like it's meant to be there. The Four of Wands to me feels like, it almost feels like the aesthetics of life, where everything in your house, is like it's meant to be there. It's intentional and it belongs, and it's like you got that plant in the corner, you got that painting on the wall, and it belongs there. Nothing right now in this week at least feels out of place. And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I think there is some kind of a milestone or a celebration that's going to highlight the week. Some kind of joy or harmony or connection that's available to you, and it's going to feel like we really we really turned a corner, or like we really made some progress this week. Maybe it's in your relationship or in your work or at school. But it's going to feel like we really made some headway. We really gained some ground. Matters at home and matters with your family are going to feel really, really good and feel very fulfilling this week. Okay? It's a good week for recognizing how far you've come. A good week for gathering together with others, sharing happiness, strengthening bonds. It's a time to rest in the comfort of your family, your community, and feel that safety and feel that sense of belonging. Yeah. Now, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and hit the like button. Let's push this video out to everybody that needs to see it. Okay? And hitting the like button, that really, and leave a comment, let me know if this is resonating with you. Those are great ways to support the channel, and I really, really do appreciate that. That is literally what keeps this channel going, is all of your interaction and all of your engagement, And I like to hear your opinions about these interpretations and about these energies. One thing I do want to do before we go to the Path of the Serpent is just to check in with one of our manifestation cards. And this says, Universal Design. See yourself as part of a sacred web, giving life to your dream. And it says, I collaborate with Spirit. Yeah. Well, that's being generous with your spirit, right? Be generous of spirit. Part of the universal design is also kind of what I was talking about with the Four of Wands, right? Feeling like everything is in place, like nothing feels like it doesn't belong there. That everything's part of this design. Everything's intentional. The people in your life, the art on the walls, the way you are and the way you feel, and the things that you have and how you look and whatever. Like it's all part of a bigger design for you in a spiritual way. It's hard to describe, but it feels really, really good. You got a Four of Pentacles too. This is like more security, more stability. Those are going to be important this week. Don't hold anything too tightly either. Okay, but be trusting. Okay, you're not going to go and spend all your money, but if somebody says, hey, can I borrow you for a second, or do you have any time, effort, energy, money, or space that I can use? Just say, yeah, sure. Trusting that people in your life aren't taking advantage of you, trusting that people have your best interest at heart, and that they genuinely appreciate you and love you, right? You're going to protect your boundaries. You're going to protect what is yours, but you're not going for too much control. We have to be careful with these two cards together, because that could be too many rules, too many boundaries, and I'm here at the border defending my boundaries every day. I'm not letting anybody cross, So be inviting, let people in, take healthy risks and things like this, and invest your time in other people. Especially those meaningful relationships that you have or that you're trying to build or develop or strengthen. You've got to be willing to do that. To make something better, you have to be willing to pour yourself into it, like the Star card. You have to be willing to let go of something that you have. You want to build a business, okay, you might have to put $1 into it, You want to build a relationship, well, you might have to put an hour or 2 or 3 into, getting to know somebody or spending time. Your presence, I feel like your time is really the most valuable resource you have right now, is how you're spending your time. And this is a time to create firm foundations with people in your life and keep the flow. We're building habits, and we're building rhythm and flow with the people around us, or it's really going to feel like organized in some way, And I think that true security comes from trust. And I think that you're finding those people in your life that you really do trust more and more and more. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay? You're not letting fear get in your way. Yeah? We're being open. And you have a Four of Swords, too. I feel like this is a time really of like stress reduction. It's a time of resting, at least mentally. A lot of mental rest going on here. And so I feel like it's, maybe last week was very, very stressful. I feel like this is a week now for rest and recovery. I feel like you're stepping back from stress. The conflict energy is kind of behind you, and it's a good time to restore your energy. Reflection, meditation, stress reduction to help bring more clarity and calm into your life. Okay? Maybe do a group meditation. Maybe this is kind of like just some quiet time with our friends or family or loved ones or your significant other, your spouse, your partner, your lover. It's kind of a card that says when we're spending time together, we don't always have to be doing something. We don't always have to be talking or debating or discussing something or putting something together or working on something. Sometimes we could just be sitting there together, doing nothing, staring at the clouds, watching the grass grow, watching TV, listening to music, just driving, walking, sitting by the lake, like whatever. It doesn't always have to be this active thing. Okay? It might be a good pause right now. A good time to pause and just enjoy what we have, enjoy the people around us before life starts getting busy again. Okay? Stillness right now is going to help you regain strength, clear your mind. We do have a clear mind with the next card and the Ace of Swords. It makes sense. This is a week of clarity. Maybe even a sudden breakthrough for some of you of like some kind of a truth, some sort of a realization. I almost feel like the Ace of Swords could be like a light bulb moment going at the top of your head there that gives you the clarity, gives you that good aha moment that you've been looking for. New ideas are going to be probably popping up really rapidly. I think when everything else is in alignment, that's when like your creativity just starts to surge. That's when like the ideas just start coming to you. When you're meditating, that's when you start getting all those inspirations, all the spiritual downloads. Write them down before they fade away, okay? It doesn't mean that we have to act on them right now. I think the Ace of Swords to me is like we're gathering ideas, and then we're going to implement them maybe next week or later in this week. Maybe we're going to kind of narrow them down to the best ideas, but it's also a card of speaking your truth. I think this week it's going to feel very comfortable for you to be open. It feels very easy for you to say what you mean and to be honest about your feelings, even when maybe like last week we would have felt a little uncomfortable or a little bit too vulnerable or like, I don't know if this is going to cause a fight. I feel like you have an ability now to express yourself in a way that's going to be very well understood. Okay. Some of you might be working on or trying to come up with a good decision about something. Okay. Maybe a firm decision really is needed. Between the King of Swords and the Four of Swords, I think maybe some of you have a big decision to make. It's going to be important that you're honest about what you want and allow your intuition to sort of show you the truth about what decision is going to be right for you. Okay. Your clarity right now is a gift, even though we have that moon card at the end. Okay. And I think that this is important because the moon card is saying, look, there's something that might still be hidden from us, something that might still be out of view. So you're having a lot of ideas. You're going to have maybe some very calm, stable, encouraging, open, loving, supportive conversations. But maybe that big decision that you're going to make, maybe you're going to wait till next week because it feels like there's a little bit of haze around the situation. And that's mystery, right? The moon card. Things are not fully clear yet. And it might be saying, look, if we want to reach the clarity and reach that decision, we have to pay attention to the intuition, the dreams, the subtle energies, pay attention to what your body is telling you. And that might be how you get the clarity that you need, and you can see the future. You can see what to do next or like, where your life should go from here. There's also a card that's saying, like, beware of misunderstandings or confusion. So that's where we need the concise, honesty. We need that rational. We need to be able to communicate and express ourselves effectively, because we don't want to invoke any kind of misunderstandings right now. It's not a time for rushing the decision, right? It's a time for clarity. Wait for the clarity if you don't have it yet. The star card being that kind of inspiration. The star card is also kind of about, about clarity, okay? About, kind of some kind of faith and hope and trust that we can kind of see the North Star. Maybe this is saying it's kind of foggy tonight. Can't really see the North Star yet. So let's not feel forced into a decision. Maybe we just spend some time with our friends and family while we wait for the fog to clear, and then we can see the constellations and we can navigate. Yeah, so we're making good use of the time we have. We're not worried about the fog. We're just saying, man, it's foggy out. Why don't we open up the apple cider and turn on the TV or read some ghost stories, or just have fun. Let's just hang out with each other while we wait for the fog to clear, It's kind of like if you're snowed in for the weekend, it's like, hey, let's just get some marshmallows and let's get the music going and let's make a fire and come on, I think it's a really good time for that sort of stuff, okay? You're embracing that unknown, you're embracing that kind of mystery, and you're just saying, that things will reveal themselves as they need to, things will unfold in their own time. How do we make the most of the time that we have together now? I think you're someone who is learning to trust those deeper instincts. Anyway, let's look at the mystery card. I love this reading for you. I think there's a good reason that this reading found you. This video found you for a reason, So don't ignore these energies, please. For the mystery card, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Probably the Chariot, your superpower card. Oh my God. This twice today now. I got this right 2 times. I just got it right for Gemini too. Outstanding. Great work. It's all of you that are here, that are generating this really positive energy. So leave me a comment and bring some more positivity into this reading, okay? Keep those comments coming. Claim this reading too. I feel like it's really for you, okay? This is obviously for you. It's the Chariot card. This is your superpower card, okay? This is, in a way saying we're focused on family. We're focused on sort of fortifying and strengthening the bonds that we have. This is also, it's forward momentum, and it is focus and determination. But it's our ability to say, if I can't see the road in front of me, if it's too foggy to drive, I'm not going to drive. I'm going to use this time to just kind of to hang out, to enjoy the downtime. Yeah. Discipline, right? This card's about control and discipline, and it's balancing your emotions with your willpower, and it's how you overcome obstacles and conflicts and things. And it's a card that's saying you have a thick skin, you got your armor on, you got the strength to overcome your obstacles, But this is also a card that's saying, hey, sometimes we can park the car, sometimes we can park the chariot, and we can take the armor off. And we can just enjoy, like the charioteer, in an actual army back in ancient Greece or something. They weren't always driving around in their chariot looking for obstacles to overcome. Sometimes they parked the chariot, they took the armor off, and they spent time with their friends and family, and they had a good time, probably in the taverns and whatever. But this is that time, I think, And so I feel like with this card, you've been pushing, you've been disciplined, you've been overcoming challenges, you've been very, very centered, you've eliminated all distractions, you've been keeping up your momentum, you've had your eyes locked on the bigger goal, you've been winning and triumphing, and now it's just time to just chill. Now it's a time maybe you can't see exactly what to do next. This is the week for relaxing, being with your friends and family. Everything is as it should be. You're going to get back in your chariot next week and you're going to keep overcoming obstacles. But for now, just celebrate how far you've come already. And just wait for the fog to lift, and then you'll see what to do next. But Don't worry about it. No stress. The dude abides. No stress at all, right? No worries. No worries, mate. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy this week. It feels like it's a real gift and a real blessing. Yeah, we're going to click on through to the extended reading. There's a join button right there. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do oracle cards. We'll clarify love and money. And we'll do the yes, no coin. Cancer, I thank you. I love you. And I'll see you there.